Um, Now I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Gregory Harrington. Mr. Harrington was born and raised in Tickfaw, Louisiana. He graduated from Jackson State University with a bachelor's degree in computer sciences in 1997. He was initiated in Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, incorporated on November 20th, 1999 at 8:20 p.m. to Gamma Eta Lambda Chapter Austin alumni, where he has served in many leadership positions. He is also the father of two daughters, Amaya Terrell Harrington and Madison Simone Harrington. He currently works at Dell Technologies for almost 12 years, where he currently is a channel account manager. He has led the Black Professional Alliance as the president and recent transition to the president emeritus. And he has led the National Honor Society of Black Engineers Austin Alumni 2011 chapter, as well as regional leadership roles. He has won a number of awards, with one being the 2011 Leadership Austin Ascendant Award recipient. He is a member of the 2006 class of Leadership Austin's Essential Class. The Ascending Awards was mainly awarded for his great work as the Back to School Parade, which he founded in 2008, where the mission is to celebrate the education and the return to school in the form of parade, and is used as the proceedings to purchase school supplies for those who are in need. His gift for public speaking started as a young man and has continued to thrive as a motivational speaker and master of ceremonies. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mr. Gregory Harrington.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Y'all good? Where my graduation? Hey, I know y'all got y'all phone out, so it's okay to go live with me. Is that okay? We gonna go live today? Okay, y'all see me on the big screen? Mama, I've made it. Mama, I made it. I want y'all to say it with me. Mama, I made it. Mama, I made it. That's what I'm talking about. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm going live the whole time I speak. So I'm going to pass this to her so she can make sure it's good. So that's awesome, man. So let me give you all a little story. So whenever I got this notice, it was the weekend after my sister's graduation. She was turning 50. And it was the first Sunday of this month. I got the invitation while I was out of office attending her graduation. And this is her second master's degree. So an awesome event. So we're there. We traveled from Texas. She lives in Huntsville, Alabama. And we're there. We're supporting my sister, both for her 50th birthday and, of course, this huge milestone of her third degree, a Bachelor of Computer Science. She already had a Master of Computer Science. And now that she's turning 50, she actually has her MBA. And to my left and to my right were the whole row of people going to sleep. So guess what my number one goal is today? Not put y'all to sleep. So that's what I'm going to do today. Is that cool? And I want to make sure none of y'all go to sleep. It's cool for y'all to pull y'all phones out. I know in class you haven't been able to, but y'all done now. Y'all done now. Isn't that awesome? I want to give a big shout out to all the people who decorated the top of their caps. Everybody that decorated caps, stand up. Stand up real quick. Everybody that decorated y'all caps. Y'all, cameramen, can y'all zoom into these? Nobody, people overlook those. People overlook those, but I don't. You all may be seated except this gentleman right here in the front row. Yeah, you stand up. Everybody else sit down. Everybody else sit down. Cameraman, can you zoom into the back of his hat? Please zoom into the back of his hat. Now that says New England 3, Atlanta 28. That's a whole sermon. That's a whole sermon. The race is not given to the swift or the strong, but to he who endures to the end. I'm in church, so I might as well say at least one scripture. Y'all sit down. The game didn't end that way. New England won. They won for real, for real. So I'm assuming you're in Atlanta. You just want to focus on the positive? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? We'll talk afterwards, okay? We'll talk afterwards. Is that awesome? Well, I want to thank you all so much for inviting me to speak today. I also want to give a big shout out to the person who gave me a mic, Andy Ward and the whole sound team. Y'all clap it up for them. I just pulled an audible tonight. Don't charge them for this, and don't charge me for getting a handheld mic. I appreciate it anyway. So, but at the end of the day, I want to just give you all a few nuggets, and I'm going to sit down because I know I'm standing between you and something that you've been trying to do for the last 18 years. You've been wanting to get to this milestone. I commend you in such a great way. Never, ever take what you all are doing for granted. This is huge. I know people who are dropping out with you all, dropping out of school right now at the age of 15 and 16 just to simply sit at home. But you all stuck it through. I want to make y'all make some noise for them. I will never, ever take anybody who's walking through the high school gates for granted. That is a huge milestone, and I never want you all to take that for granted as well. As I was thinking about what to say to you all, I wanted to say, well, do I just scare you all with the real truth that your mama trying to kick you out right now? Or do I tell you there's some good and some bad? All right? I think I'm done with the good. I'm done with the good. So let me just shock your life real quick. It just got real. Mama and daddy are done. And for those who are holding on to their children, mama and daddy, you need to be done. They need to get out. Go away somewhere else besides your house, okay? It's that time. It's that time. And the reality of it all, a lot of times I tell students, college and the military are the stepping stone between your mama's house and your own house. Isn't that real? Because there's these things that don't exist in the real world. Student loans don't exist in the real world. Financial aid does not exist in the real world, right? Mama washing your clothes should not exist in the real world. You understand? So that's a bridge between the two. A meal plan at college is a beautiful thing. Doesn't exist in the real world. So you want to be in a position to leverage this time. Go through a lot of different things that you want to do. Think about some of the small details. I work at Dell. I work for a dude that never graduated from college. His name is Michael Dell. Somehow I think he's okay. But what he did was he took the opportunity to leverage those 4 years and create something new. I challenge each one of you all to think about the same thing. All of the mathematics, all the STEM that you've done right now in class right now, I want to make sure that you all are understanding that is power. That's power. You've had a little longer time to get through. Once you get to college, the teachers may not hold your hand as much. They may not even ask you to do homework. That's up to you if you want to. They may only give tests. But guess what? The nuggets that you all have been prepared with right now will help you get through those journeys. I actually had 2 ripped Achilles. I know you're saying to yourself, well, he's so young and athletic built. Nice jackets cover up a few things. I ripped both of my Achilles. One of my Achilles I ripped in 2005 playing basketball. The other one I ripped in 2013. My calf muscle in the one that I ripped in 2005 is still much smaller than the one that I ripped just 4 years ago. What's the difference? Whenever I ripped my Achilles in 2005, I was off of my feet, non-weight bearing for 6 weeks. The one on my right leg in 2013, I was off of it for maybe 2 weeks. Why do I tell you this? There's this word called atrophy that set in. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use your muscle in your legs, you lose them. So my calf, I couldn't jump anyway, but I can't jump as high now as I was before. Why do I tell you all this? The skills that you all are using right now, that you've gone day in, day out, studying, your study habits that you formed thus far, the knowledge that you've gained in high school, in elementary, the relationships that you formed throughout these years. I want you to continue to use them. If you don't use them, you will absolutely lose them. Nugget number 2. Failure is part of the process. Failure is part of the process. I want everybody to say, oh, that sounds beautiful. Guess what you just did? You just kissed failure right in the mouth. I want you to love it. The reality of it all is I'm a computer science engineer, software engineer, right? My biggest fun thing to do is test the code that I write. Why? Because I'm simply checking to see if the syntax that I have is correct. Checking to make sure all of the values, all the variables that I thought should work are right. Guess what these guys called video game players are also called? They're called testers. Every time you pick up a PlayStation, every time you pick up a video game, guess what? There's somebody who's actually being paid to play that game. Guess what they're trying to do? They're trying to kiss failure right in the mouth. They want it to fail, and they're getting a lot of money. All they're doing is making the product better. So whenever you kiss failure right in the mouth, all you're trying to do is make the product better. I get it. You may have come up in a home that may not seem normal to some. You may have come from a background that didn't have any money. I know this one gentleman who actually came to this country from Turkey, was going to Texas A&M University. Shouldn't one of y'all be shouting because y'all going to Texas A&M too? I was listening. He then came to this country. He's like, well, people are saying math is hard. And he's like, for my country, math is a privilege to learn. It's a privilege to go to school. So why are we in the United States of America not learning math? Guess what he did? He formed Harmony Science Academy. His name is Dr. Soner Tarim. He started out, he had $1,100 as a stipend for school. $1,100 is not a lot of money to do anything with, even in college. And he started Harmony Science Academy. I'm not sure if you all are aware in the audience or even you all, Harmony is the largest charter school in Texas. They're the second largest in the country. Do you think he was scared when he first started? Did he say, well, $1,100 is going to start this school? And look at you all. You all have a diploma now from a school from somebody who had $1,100 in his pocket. His team has grown this to a great program. So look at it. Failure, kiss failure in the mouth. Failure is part of the process. I want to give you all a nugget. I want you all to become a love cat. Everybody say, what's a love cat? Glad you asked. A love cat, basically, Tim Sanders has this book. And the name of the book is Love is the Killer App. Why do I say love is the killer app? He does 3 things. He wants you to share your passion, share your knowledge, and share your network. And by doing so, you become a love cat. I'll give an example. I was actually at Dell's booth recruiting young men and young women at the National Society of Black Engineers. We want to bring some solid talent to Dell. And I understand where I come from. Some people, we put earrings in our ears as guys sometimes to make it look good, right? But sometimes in corporate world, you may get tagged for that, right? So I see this young man come to the booth, and he has a nice white suit. It's sharp white suit at a career fair. So I'm like, well, that's not the right suit. But I understand that I didn't want to let that be a stumbling block for him. So I then look at his resume, and his resume is actually pretty good. So when I'm looking at the resume, looking to actually get him a job at Dell, moving from New York, bring him all the way down here, I never mentioned that white suit to him. So then he comes by my desk from time to time, and he has this nice shirt with Al Capone on it smoking something. Has Al Capone ever smoked something that's legal? I haven't known that vapors were around at that time. He's in the workforce with that shirt on. What am I telling you this for? I messed up. I was not a love cat because I never told him the right attire to wear. Long story short, he didn't make it a year. He didn't even make it a year. The reality of it all is it probably wasn't related to his attire. It may have been related to his mentality. Now, don't get it confused. You see a suit now, but later on you might see me in some Jordans. And I got a lot of them. But it's a proper attire for the occasion. I was not being a love cat by making sure that I shared my knowledge with this guy for him to be successful. I want you all to be able to do it. You have sisters. You have community members. You have neighbors. You have brothers. You have cousins. You all are who they are looking at right now. You are who they're looking at. I want to make sure that you all are familiar with that. 2 more points and I'm going to sit down. I want you all to stand up one more time. We have a system where I'm going to help my parents out. Do any of your children feel entitled? Don't say yes. We know this is a positive day. This is their positive day. Do any of your children feel entitled to get whatever they want? Guess what I want you all to repeat with me. Excuses are. No, that's not loud enough. Excuses are monuments of nothing. Those who use these tools of incompetence are masters of nothing. Do y'all want to have excuses? Have a seat. I want you all to put that in your life. I want you all to put that in your lives. Know it. Excuses are monuments of nothing. Those who use these tools of incompetence are masters of nothing. The reality of it is, you do not have the privilege or the entitlement to get the greatest in the world. You must work for it. You must work for it. My young one, this beautiful queen right here, a little 5-year-old, 6-year-old CEO. I call her 6-year-old CEO, my daughter Madison. She says, Daddy, it's Valentine's Day. I say, yeah, cool. She said, I want a fish for Valentine's Day. I'm like, dude, you supposed to get a fish for Valentine's Day? Well, I thought I could get whatever I want for Valentine's Day. I'm like, you got a point. Why get her roses when she wants a fish? So, of course, now I'm taking care of the fish. It's a beta. And they tell me in the store that I'm supposed to feed it 4 little pellets. 4 little pellets. And, of course, me being an engineer is like, that's not a lot of food. So, of course, I test it. Failure in the process. So I test it. And so I'm giving the fish like 4, 8, 12. This fish, getting it so much, it's hit his face on the side of the aquarium. And I'm literally rooting for him. I'm sitting there rooting for him to eat the pellets. I'm like, come on, buddy. Her name is Scarlett. Come on, Scarlett. Eat the pellets. We're doing the same thing. Everybody around this edge is looking for you to get your pellets. We cannot jump in the water and get it for you. You got to get it yourself. You got to get it yourself. We actually are in a space where we may even give you the 4, but you better be testing to see if you can get the 8 pellets, the 12 pellets, the 16, the 24 pellets, because that's the world that you actually have. It is there for you to get. My last point, I'm going to have my seat. I want you to have a why. Why do you want to be successful? Why do you want to have the greatness? I'm going to introduce you all to this beautiful queen, my daughter Madison Simone Harrington. Come on up here, mama. You can let her go. She'll walk up. Y'all seeing this nice red? Come up here, mama. Y'all can make some noise. I'm going to introduce you out to This is I told y'all I wasn't gonna make y'all go to sleep. Hey, she just as cute. This is my mama. This is what a 6-year-old CEO looks like. She just graduated 2 days ago from Harmony Kindergarten. So when I tell y'all that there are people who are looking to do what you are doing, I ain't playing. What the grammar teachers, I know I'm gonna get slapped afterwards. I'm not playing. Stay here, mama. And she actually is she's my why. If you don't have a why big enough to make you cry, change it. You feel me? If you don't have a why big enough to make you cry, change it. At the end of the day, you're gonna lead a life. You're gonna have this tombstone put above your head. I really want you to be thinking about that right now. What do you want people to say? Do you want people to say that you love the right way? Were you a love cat? Were you a good example to the young people? Were you a good example to the older people? Did you live every waking moment to support your why? Thank you all so much. I congratulate you.